dive in the pool. Dive.
Oh, you're in the defense.
Rob Square.
Ooh. Oh, we're back.
Poolside, baby.
Living in luxury.
We're classing up the joint a little bit, or the opposite. But
what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think, Mo?
Huh?
He's a cutie, but he may have Down syndrome, which is not the worst for a dog. He just has no balance. But anywho's, episode 4. We figured we'd change up the background a little bit for you.
What do we call this one? We got the tiki bar. We got
this is Poolside. R2 Poolside.
Vegas Vacation.
Vegas Vacation. Seriously, it's not too off from the movie Vegas Vacation because that was not very classy. It was Chevy Chase loses a bunch of money in blackjack. Randy Quaid living in grilling those steaks on the little rock.
You need help with the grill, Eddie?
No thanks, Clark. Don't have one. I'll get the tongs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Getting fucking lost and/or trapped on the outside of the Hoover Dam.
That is brother-in-law or brother, right?
It was a brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Right? It's
Yeah.
fucking him.
Yeah.
All right, so Rob Squared. We are gonna have some fun. Obviously, we've been having fun already. Memorial Day. We've been about 4 hours. We should have recorded some of our conversations.
Cheers to all the ones that allow us to do this, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Even though we're not getting paid, but
well, no, just
Memorial Day. I was
the
talking about
actual
our
holiday.
yeah, subscribe, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, all the the guys that died.
Yeah.
Please subscribe.
Seriously though, I know we started our Facebook page, and we've had a lot of people add me and everything. But if you could, just we're not one of these people that ask for subscriptions or likes, but subscribe to the channel. The more subscriptions we have, the more likely we are to be relevant on YouTube, which is super saturated. It's hard to be fucking unique, and I think we are unique. We have that going.
I would describe us as unique.
I got my fat belly out, sitting at a fucking white trash pool.
Bottom line, I mean, the people that care about us are supporting us.
Yeah, and thank you for that.
We would love, obviously, for this to be a thing. Right. We just don't. We're not the asking type.
And we're patient, man. We have years, and we do this. We've been just talking for 4 hours before we got here about God knows what, everything. Football included. But so this is football. Yeah. We're in football season, and our football season, right? We're still at the end of May. But so we're gonna get into some ADPs here, some early ADPs to kind of give you a baseline of where some of these guys are going, and why I was explaining to you earlier why I think it's valuable is obviously we're not drafting for 3 months or so for our big leagues, right? Anyone that does a home league drafted 6 weeks prior is a fucking moron because
maybe it was what is it? The dynasty league.
Dynasty, yeah. But the idea is to have a baseline where these guys started and just kind of understand and kind of ignore the news because the news and the noise. These guys get propped up and built down based on dumb shit. Yeah. He's in good shape. He's in bad shape. He has a hammy injury. 3 weeks prior to the season, okay, you know what? That shouldn't change someone's ADP in my mind. I know it doesn't change ours, but for the general public, it does.
Yeah.
So
and we like who we like, right?
Yes, and let's start off to see where these guys are going now. And then, guess what? If a guy we like now is going at 22 for this position, and by the draft season they're going 31 because some bogus ass report says he's not vibing with the offensive coordinator, I'll take that guy all day.
I think
31.
The conversation we had off camera was it's almost the equivalent to a stock. I guess a good example maybe with Twitter right now, because Elon just bought Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So I think it became official today. I think he officially bought it for $44 million, right? And the stock has been diving because of all the stuff that's coming out. But at the end of the day, Twitter is going to be a blue chip type stock, right? I mean, I'm not giving advice. I'm not giving advice on the stock market. Right. My point is that we know that Twitter is it's going to be a staple of society. Yeah. And there's news that the first one he was going to buy it, the stock went up, and now once he started digging into it, and all the news about how the fake bots and stuff went down.
It should be more of a baseline. It is what it is, and just like
we if I own stock in Twitter, I'll take the dip a little bit because I know at the end of the day it's going to get me where I need to go.
Right.
Right.
So, bottom line, we're having fun, and as we always do, no matter what. Guess what? We do this when we're not recording, but
someone help me. I'm a prisoner here. I'm not.
He is. I literally shackles, and I'll show you the. It's very much Buffalo Bills situation.
Yeah.
And I have a bucket.
He doesn't give me a bathroom.
Well, no, but I'll give you food. McDonald's mostly.
Yeah, the scraps.
Apparently, I've been eating a lot of McDonald's. But,
yeah, I get the scraps.
All right, so the first one,
I get the crust of the burger.
This is going to be 1 out of 3. We're going to go position by position. We're going to kind of combine quarterback and tight end, seeing as they're shorter positions. You start one of them.
Yeah.
We're going to do a quarterback tight end, which is this one. We're going to do a running back, which is deeper, and then we're going to do a wide receiver,
which is
super deep.
That's the deep end.
Yes.
So
this is not the deep end. We got to go to some
right now we're waiting in the shallow.
The water's great. Apparently, we like it more than the dogs. My dogs haven't gone in there.
The dogs are after the beer.
Yeah, no, they are. All right, so we're going to start with quarterback here, and we're going to kind of go through just where they're going, positional-wise and ADP.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start with the first couple here. Obviously, it's crazy. Josh Allen has, off the last 2 years' performance, vaulted to number 1. Rightfully so. The rushing upside, the passing upside, the fact they refuse to run the ball.
Sure.
Even though he plays in a cold weather fucking state, but Josh Allen, number 1, he is a 23 ADP. Patrick Mahomes, number 2 at 32 ADP, and we have Justin Herbert at 35. I'll leave it at that for the top 3. So essentially, Josh Allen is a back end or early round 3rd, back end 2, early 3 pick. Mahomes is right there at mid 3rd. Yeah, mid 3rd, and Herbert is almost end 3rd.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, let's just say, end 2nd, early 3rd. Those 3 guys are going to go. This is standard. This is not standard, but this is for quarterbacks. Yeah, this is all NFC ADP. So these are leagues that have big money leagues that have been going on now. I believe this scoring is 4 for a passing touchdown, which would vault a guy like Josh Allen.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just no bonuses, 25 yards per point. But this is full PPR, so I feel like these are high considering the PPR guys like Cooper Kupp killed it. Yeah. Cooper Kupp outscored Josh Allen last year.
Personally, I'm not touching a quarterback in the first 2 rounds.
No, and I always said that, but I always do it in our leagues that are 6 for passing touchdown, -3.
Because when you see the 21 ADP and he falls to 28, you're there, like, well, there's no
unfortunately, I've been taking Mahomes in the first round in a couple of those leagues.
Well, Mahomes.
I think I have a respectful fantasy prowess, but those are mistakes. I've overcame it a bit, but stupid. Yeah. So, anyway, the top 3 guys here, I feel like they're interchangeable. Obviously, Josh Allen has the safest floor because of rushing. And last year, I made the bet on the under. He only had 6 rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And still was quarterback 1. And he didn't have he just had the full encompassing season, right? He had like the 600 yards rushing. He had the 6 rushing touchdowns. He had the 4,400 yards passing. He had the 40 passing touchdowns. Yeah. It was everything he'd ever want. And he was so consistent. And his spike weeks are just fucking huge.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes had it down here last year, to be honest. It wasn't. We're still living on 2 years ago from Mahomes. And he did lose Tyreek Hill, which is an issue.
Yeah.
And they might go more run heavy. Justin Herbert's more improving, but he's had 2 dope-ass years. And, they brought back Mike Williams. They have Keenan Allen. Who's the tight end they brought in? They got rid of Jared Cook. Okay. So they brought in Gerald Everett. They still have Donald Parham, who's 6'9", basketball player, had like 4 or 5 touchdowns last year. They have Austin Eckler. They drafted Isaiah Spiller, so they have some weapons around them. They got the defense better, which I don't know if that helps the fantasy stuff. But, I mean, come on. The Chargers are for real. Justin Herbert's for real. That coach, he's super aggressive. Staley. Yeah, Staley just 4th and 4, you know what they're fucking doing. They're passing the ball. Yeah. So I like all those 3 guys. Now, it's about where they're going. Now, I almost just want to take, if I was going to go early, take whoever falls, which is most likely going to be Herbert.
So you think
I don't want to be the guy biting early.
Yeah.
And that's coming from me, who's done it in the certain leagues that are 6 for a passing touchdown, -3.
Yeah.
That's why I bite early, because the marginal quarterback -3 for a pick for a chip. Yeah. With the bonuses of 300, I like that. But I think I moved off, especially this year. We'll get to it later, but the depth at quarterback has never been better.
Well, I guess the question for me would be, do you agree with that top 3? Are those
100%.
The clear-cut top 3?
The order, I feel, I actually agree with the order, too. I mean, Mahomes on his laurels, Herbert with the ascension, and Josh Allen just being the fucking boss he is.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's go to the next 3 here. It's Joe Burrow at 4, which is very crazy. Burrow at 4, Murray at 5, Jackson at 6. So this is more outside of Burrow, the scrambling range, where you got the guys that have the allure of the best season ever, right? Where you could have 1,000 yards rushing, 9 rushing touchdowns, and still 35 passing.
Well, it feels like Lamar, Kyler are what we expect the future of the NFL to be. So we're waiting for. I mean, Lamar is MVP here, almost kind of set that standard.
Yeah, and somehow he had 38 touchdowns or whatever.
Yeah.
But the baseline of 800 yards rushing, you don't need to be an elite passer because the floor of these guys. Yeah. You're getting the RB2 rushing with 2 touchdowns passing a game, with whatever 240 yards passing. Kyler more on the upside of the passing, Lamar more on the upside of the rushing, and Joe Burrow is thrown in here just based on. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like Joe Burrow at all.
I agree.
Because if I can get, I don't feel like Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford are that far off. And
funny you said, because I was about to say, Stafford to me, they're interchangeable.
Now, Joe Burrow's a little more athletic. He didn't show it last year, but we both know Joe Burrow can run. He didn't need to last year.
Well, no, he had to. Well,
he was running for his life to pass.
Yeah.
I feel like we saw his rookie year when he had that second game of the year. He had that 20-yard touchdown scramble.
Here comes Bosa. Here comes the quarterback, Burrow, looking for a block, and he got it up in the front by Hopkins into the.
Yeah. He is athletic enough. He's not Matt Ryan, right? He's not Tom Brady. He's more Aaron Rodgers. That early Aaron Rodgers, right? But the thing is, these guys are so good, they don't scramble to scramble. They scramble to throw a 30-yard touchdown. Yeah. And that's what Joe Burrow was doing last year, right? But at 4, no thank you.
I agree.
And I think it's a little propped up early on based on the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
Based on the last 2 weeks of the season where he had 400 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. His last 3 weeks in fantasy, he was number 1, number 3, number 1. It's crazy finish.
He carried him into the playoffs.
Yeah. But who did he shred?
Do you have to do that week 1?
Do you remember he shredded Baltimore, which had all of their secondary? And I know you always make the point, Baltimore's a man team.
Yeah. They only play man.
And they still play man when they had a 3rd string, a 4th string, and a 5th string playing. So, again, he did it. I get it. And he had Jamar Chase. I like the weapons. But you got to take that with a grain of salt a little bit. So, at Joe Burrow at 4, at Joe Burrow at 8, love it. Take him over Dak. But at 4, when you're talking about his ADP of fucking 48, dude, no.
So that you're talking 3rd, 4th round pick.
Yeah. Matt Stafford's ADP is fucking 75.
Yeah.
Dak is right there.
So the talent's there, the value. He's going to score the points, but the conversation we had off camera was at that 3rd or 4th round pick. I think we both agree that the consistent, when you're looking for a position that early, you want consistency. You're looking for home runs later. So I think getting a running back or maybe a blue chip receiver in that position versus the quarterback.
Right.
If you get Stafford.
We're talking 1 fantasy point per game.
Yeah.
Let's get to the other 2 guys here because obviously we should have Joe Burrow enough. We love Joe Burrow.
Well, we had a Joey B thing last time.
Oh, Joey B. Joe Burrow. Joey B. He's in the Jersey Shore. Everyone is Joey B or Tommy B. It's never their full name. It's just a nickname. So Joe Burrow.
Hey, take it easy.
Tell me a little bit about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we like Joe Burrow. I just like him before. So this is more your
him more real life.
You love Lamar and you love Kyler. This guy's the biggest Kyler fan. He's blown him. It's secretly.
He won't call me back anymore.
Yeah. Well, you didn't do a good enough job. You used too much teeth. So Kyler at 5. Here's the thing: is a lot of places. These are the live ADPs of the big leagues, but a lot of people and a lot of things I've heard on the podcast I listen to that aren't Rob Squared. So shame on them. I've heard 7 or 8. A lot of these guys are fading Kyler to 9, dude, for Kyler. Just based on the Hopkins news, the suspension 6 games, which is a factor. But he got Marquise Brown, which isn't a bad consolation prize. And when it all comes full circle, you got Marquise Brown. You have Zach Ertz. You have Hopkins coming back, who's going to be healthy. It's one thing when a guy comes back from injury. He's coming back from a suspension. He's going to be healthy.
And don't sleep on AJ Green. I know
AJ Green, Rondell Moore, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, just AJ Green's still a Hall of Famer.
And the nice thing I think is under the radar right now is Darrell Williams. Who is a pro. And you saw what he did when CEH got hurt.
Yeah.
Dude, he filled in pretty nice. He was a very, very good back end RB1 those weeks.
Yeah.
And he's not asked to do a lot, but when you could take a little load off James Conner, he's a receiving back, he's a vet. He can pick up the block, he can screen out, get you 8 yards in the carry. Like that. I mean, they have a lot of weapons around them, and their defense is not great. I know you love the Cardinals, but it's a nice recipe in that division for fantasy success. And at 5 is about where I feel like he should go.
I think that's fair.
It's 59 ADP, so you can get him in the 6th round, fifth round. End of 5th.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Man, I think you'll take him in the 4th.
No,
Maybe not this year.
I think that's fair because there's reason for skepticism, like based on the contract bullshit, all that stuff. There's talent's there, but also the injury. Once he's his fourth year now.
Yeah, and every year, the last 2 years, he's missed significant time.
But they were the best team in the league until he got hurt.
And the problem is he comes back and he's just not the same. He's hesitant to run. He can't plant off his back leg. I mean, he's small.
My biggest concern with Kyler is what's his focus. I mean, he has so much going on.
Right.
He's top 10 MLB pick.
Kyler
He's a pro
Murray's
gamer.
upside is quarterback one.
Yeah.
And anyone that debates that's a fucking moron because they never watched the guy play.
Yeah.
There's no one more dangerous than the 8-yard line. I'm sorry, I love Lamar. Kyler's a better short spurt, short yards, not short yards in terms of breaking tackles, but if you get him in one-on-one with a linebacker.
A first and goal from the one. Here is Murray trying to deep the defender, and he does.
No,
He's burning him. Like Lamar might have to break a tackle. Kyler's playing a ballerina role, dude.
Murray keeps it. And Murray done.
Yeah, Kyler and Lamar, both of those guys, if it was a flag football league where you actually have to grab, you're not touching him.
So, all right, let's touch on Lamar here real quick.
Yeah.
He is number 6 here at 60. So, again, Burrow 48, Murray 59, Lamar 60. So those guys are back-to-back in terms of where they're going ADP-wise. Lamar seems safer than Kyler, but he doesn't. I mean, I know he had a year with 38 touchdown passes, but they can go away a lot of the receivers. Kyler seems more of the boomer bust. Lamar seems like safer to finish at that spot. Does that make sense? Somehow less of an injury risk.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I think that he just is more. His baseline's better. Right?
So with me, Lamar is the definition of MVP. Without Lamar, the Ravens are shit.
Right.
Like we saw Colt McCoy step in.
What he green one.
The talent around him is there. It's not. Lamar is the guy that say, all right, I'm going to put the team on my back. I'm going to do it. So.
Well, I will say we did see Tyler Huntley fucking kill it. Mark Andrews and Tyler Huntley was a god.
Yeah, because they couldn't pass. He can't pass more than 10 yards. So
no, but he turned out pretty well. I mean, because we all agree that Huntley's probably better than Colt McCoy, right? Like more dynamic playmaker.
All right, I'll say if I'm trying to win a playoff game, I'd rather have Colt McCoy.
Agreed.
So, to me, Colt's better. But we're not talking about the backups. We're talking about the guys. And Lamar, he's going to get his usage. I mean, let's use the NBA term. His usage rate is off the charts, right? Like with Kyler, I feel like there's more scheme. It feels like, right? Like, but here's the biggest defense I could say for Kyler is it feels like he's still ascending. Where Lamar, we've seen the best of Lamar.
Yeah.
Like we know what Lamar can do.
MVP.
We know what he can do. Like we've seen his peak. I don't think we've seen Kyler's peak yet.
All right, and I'm kind of doing this based on tiers. I did the top 3, but I feel like the top 3, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, are a tier. I feel like Murray, Burrow, and Jackson are a tier. So now we're at 7. Yeah. I feel like 7 through 11. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 7 through 12 here. Or, sorry, 7 through 11. I feel like this is a tier. Now, how you want to order them is up to you. So number 7, we have Dak Prescott at 66 overall. Tom Brady at 8 at 67, right next to him. Matt Stafford at 9 at 71. Russell Wilson at 10 at 75. And Jalen Hurts at 11 at 76.
Let me ask you this.
So,
who's of that tier, who's most likely to jump to the number 1 tier, the top 3? Would you say? Not to jump in the top
Wilson
5.
or Hurts.
Yeah. You think Hurts has it?
The rushing, right?
Yeah.
Wilson, just based on the fact that I know Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer, and sometimes a change of scenery might. And last year was a lost year for more than just the dislocated thumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Pete Carroll was just obsessive running the ball with no running backs.
He's old school.
And he had fucking DK. It was just
old
rough.
School. Yeah, sure.
And Russ, it had been played out, And I feel like ever since that fucking stupid ass play call and the 1 yard line with that pick, dude, like it hasn't been the same. And like it's a power struggle there, right?
Pete Carroll is the type of coach that plays not to lose.
Yes.
But
Russell Wilson plays to win.
And I guess this is the reason we made the bet on the pod, and we actually doubled the bet, where Seahawks versus Jets. I think that
you gave me 3-1 odds. I had the Seahawks record.
Yeah.
I like the Jets better than them, but not for 3-1 odds.
My point being is that Pete Carroll plays not to lose, and Russ won them games. Now Russ is gone.
Yeah.
Now you're asking Drew Lock to be Russell Wilson.
Right. Well, I love Drew Lock, so.
He has a heck of an arm.
All right, so we both agree. You would probably say Russell, right?
Russ to me is top 3. Like,
Okay. Well, that's really nice.
I think Herbert,
10, dude.
to me, Herbert's a better. I want him if I was a GM. I want Herbert as my quarterback. Fantasy wise, he's too smart. Like he's almost like you were talking about with Rodgers off camera. Like he's not going to throw. He might not take those risks. It feels like.
Right.
Like, he's going to make the smart play. He'll take the sack on 3rd and 10 instead of throwing the interception.
And what's crazy about Russ is I don't know if this was based on him not checking out, but you know all the rumblings. Same thing with
Well, he was
Rodgers,
asking for a trade for 3 years.
Right. So like he ran. He's getting older. I want to say 32 years old, 33.
Yeah,
But he
what's my
ran-
quarterback now is almost their prime.
Yeah, that's not that old. Like
No.
he ran the lowest percentage in his career, which doesn't make any sense because when he had that thumb injury and came back, you would think he'd kind of want to run the ball more because his accuracy was fucking shot.
Sure.
But he didn't. And I don't know if that was him being stubborn, him saying I'm not tearing my ACL. I know Russell Wilson has a lot in the tank in terms of scrambling still. And he's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not a Kyler. He's not a scrambler.
Behind the line of scrimmage,
he
the best.
extends plays.
Him
I'm saying,
and Rodgers.
He is still good for 35 yards rushing a game.
Sure.
And he didn't do that last year.
But in terms of fantasy, like you're looking for numbers. You're not looking for.
He's a 500-600 yard rushing guy a year, and he had like 300 last year, like prorated even with the injury.
Sure.
So that's the thing people aren't factoring in. Russell Wilson, he's not Kyler, he's not Lamar, but he's also not fucking Matt Stafford.
No.
He's definitely not fucking Matt Stafford. If he is,
Wow.
I mean, he might be gay, but
We're speculating.
yeah.
He might
So,
be fucking Matt.
He's not Matt Stafford, I guess is what I should say. I should be effing in. All right, so real quick though, Dak Prescott was ahead of this group at 66. A little rich, just based on the fact he lost Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup is not ready to start the year. And they do want to throw the ball there, but they have 2 viable running backs. They have a pretty opportunistic, good defense last year. A bad division, like you need volume with Dak Prescott to be drafted there. And again, I like Dak.
I think the one thing you can guarantee with Dak is volume. I feel like. I feel like he. I know they want to run the ball more. They have.
And he's
power,
healthy, right? Like the ankle injuries in the past. That whole thing, he showed that last year. I mean,
well, even so, last year coming back, you're still hesitant because that was
right.
gross.
But he didn't run a lot last year. But when he did,
But now he has.
okay.
He has. We were talking again off camera, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do a lot on
We should just record our lives because our conversations are pretty epic. But like for me, a lot of it's confidence, right? Like especially in sports, I mean, especially as a pro athlete, like all those guys have talent. There's a reason they're in the league. It's the confidence that sets you apart. And Dak coming back from that injury, especially fighting for the contract. Now everything he has the contract. Now he's selling like, now we need you, Dak. Now you're the guy. So here's your there's the guy. But he also struggles with depression. He's
been
that.
very public with
I know
that,
his
so.
brother and all that stuff. So it's that would be my one. I think that's the only thing. It's mental. Like Dak has the opportunity. He's gonna have the volume. It's about what's in between his ears. With that.
And the next 2 guys here, which are boring but steady, is Tom Brady and Matt Stafford. And again, Brady just keeps on getting pushed down. One GOAT and one most likely Hall of Famer.
This is the highest Brady's been going in the last 4 years.
I know, and they're at 66, 67, so they're all right there.
That's too much hype for me with Brady.
The problem is his team is disintegrating.
I'm comfortable. Brady proved me wrong this year.
Well, we did that last year.
I know. I'm comfortable taking.
Had we been doing this for 5 years, we would have been doing the same thing 5 years ago.
Sure.
So
again,
there comes a point where we might need to not do that.
There's going to be a cliff.
I know, of course.
So I'm comfortable taking that risk. I'm comfortable with the upside. Like we know what Brady's capable of, but there's a cliff.
There has to be eventually. Whether this year or next year, but
I know it's Brady.
It's insane. Okay, what about Matt Stafford? I mean, we can talk all day about Tom Brady. Like he's steady, he's safe. Like I like the value because last year was going later, and it's still value. This year, I feel like I said this tier here from 7 to 11 are interchangeable. So it's almost whoever falls.
So a Stafford with me with oh my gosh, what's the running back's name? The guy that had the AC.
Cam Akers.
With Akers coming back. We saw it towards that,
and they have Henderson.
Henderson's a stud.
Yeah.
So with me, the plan was to use those running backs because they have 2 stud running backs. I think Stafford was obligated to throw more than they wanted to.
Yeah, they had nobody
So
else.
I think it is if the running back, if the team stays healthy, they'll still be successful. But I don't believe that Stafford is he's obviously a stud real life, but in terms of fantasy, I can see taking a step back. Like he's the reason they won. I know with Cooper Cup, but to me, Stafford, he has the arm talent, but he knows where he's at in his career. He's more of a manager. I think he's gonna fall more into a manager role, where you're gonna see he'll pop. He's gonna be like a receiver that we talk about with receivers late in baseball, where there's a receiver. He might have a 10 catch, 120 yard, 2 touchdown game. But I think more likely than not, you're going to see a lot of
240 and 2 touchdowns.
250, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like old Matt Ryan games. Where they need him. But the thing is, they have a good defense.
Exactly. I think that as long as the team's healthy,
right. And I feel the same way about Tom Brady. I mean, it's great, but they're going to be steady. They're going to throw 34 touchdowns, right? They're going to have 4,600 yards.
Yeah.
They're going to offer nothing on the ground, though.
Yeah.
So the thing is, all these guys are similar to where it's like, I said the quote to you earlier. It's not who they are. It's where they're going. It's not about them individually. It's about where are they going. Like I like all of these guys, but especially in terms of tiers. Like I'll just take the last guy. Like if Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson, if they go one round apart, if Joe Burrow goes in the 4th and Kyler goes in the 5th and Lamar goes in the 6th, I'll take Lamar in the 6th if I want to go that way. If Dak goes in the 7th and Brady goes in the 8th and Matt Stafford goes in the 9th and Russell Wilson goes in the 10th, like I want Russell over most of those guys anyway, but I'll just take Russell Wilson in the 10th.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just take the better, to the analogy of you, I take DeAndre Hopkins in the 7th or 8th round, who's not playing, and he's a bench player for me, and I'll just take the back end stud, even if it's fucking Aaron Rodgers. Even if it's Jalen Hurts. Like, yeah, give me that guy that's valuable, that's going to get the work. Obviously, quarterbacks don't have to worry about workload because they're the fucking quarterback. And give me Hopkins as my 4th receiver. If anything happens with one of my receivers, or I have an injury, or whatever, or if I don't, I just trade Hopkins. Or I trade,
the names there.
Whoever is popping at my receiver core, and then when Hopkins comes back, boom. Or if someone drafts the 2 quarterbacks or gets the fucking late stud.
Sure.
So, and the last thing we got to talk about here is Jalen Hurts at number 11 in terms of this tier. 76 overall. They're all going. So this tier is Dak to Jalen Hurts.
Hurts is interesting.
Hurts is 76 and Dak is 66. So we're talking about these guys going within one round of each other, essentially.
Yeah.
Maybe not the same round. But
to me, that sounds like no one knows.
Right.
So
and Jalen Hurts has, he was quarterback 5 in points per game last year.
Yeah.
I think quarterback 6 or 7 overall. He missed 2 games.
In the second half, I'm sure he was number 1. Like
he
in the
was
second half, when they're down 21-3.
Right. So he did add AJ Brown. He's naturally going to get better. Like these other guys, Stafford, like they are what they are. It's all about situation with them. They're not getting better at fucking 34.
So
Jalen Hurts has a lot of room to grow as a passer.
That's a good point.
So
my philosophy in terms of quarterbacks, I don't want someone to duplicate their best year. I want an ascending guy, right? Like, and you're going to hear throughout the whole summer, I'm a big Russ guy. I don't think we've seen the best of Russ yet. I think Russell Wilson has been, he's had the handcuffs on him.
100%. Like last 3 years, for sure.
Well, this is the beginning.
And still been MVP talk in real life. So.
My prediction, 45 touchdowns. I'm using it as an example, but Hurts is curious too. So with Hurts, he's interesting to me because I see the potential, but I would almost, if I were thinking about Hurts, I would wait for someone like Tua because I know Hurts has the basement because of his rushing, where I think we have obviously maybe we have seen the best of Tua, but with that all the weapons around him, I think the ascension is the same. I think Tua, like I would rather wait. I don't know where Tua's at, but
get to that later.
My point is like I want someone that I could see a astronomical, a huge jump from. I don't like with Hurts. I feel like I know who he is. With Tua, it feels like he's been hurt the whole time, and now he has all the.
We don't know. It's a big mystery.
With Tua, I feel there's a bigger. There's more room to improve.
Right, but if anyone in this group has top 3 potential, I think it's obviously it is Russell Wilson.
Sure.
But also Jalen Hurts because he could run for 1,000.
I could see it.
It's the same thing we're talking about with Kyler, right? Like, and the thing is, like, he has the weapons now. He didn't have DeVonta Smith was a rookie last year, right? And like, they had Goddard, and they still have Goddard, but now you have Goddard as your number 3.
Yeah.
You have Miles Sanders in the backfield. You got the guys. You got some confidence. He made the playoffs last year. He's got confidence.
Sure.
So I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy, but I feel like his downside is where he's getting drafted, which is crazy to say. Like, I feel like while draft
What do you
season,
mean by that?
when draft season comes,
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is not going to be the 11th quarterback taken. Someone's going to take him at 7. 100%, dude.
Yeah.
And in these 4 for passing touchdown leagues, dude, they're going to be like, upside.
Sure.
And I'm not willing to go there. But if he falls to 10, all fucking day.
You know what I mean? I think for sure, definitely. I don't have a legit argument against that.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the next tier here. Now, these are the question mark / old steadies, I guess you'd call them. So we have number 11, we have number 12, we have Aaron Rodgers. This is the last of the starters, right?
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers is the last of the starters.
Won MVP last year.
2
2 years in a row.
Yeah. What the fuck? And lost a lot of weapons, but he's still Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he lost
still
Devontae Adams.
And still offers a little bit with his legs. Okay? 12 Aaron Rodgers, 13 Derek Carr, newly, now he has Devontae Adams.
I
right?
like Carr.
Okay,
So
I like Carr too. 14 Deshaun Watson, the ultimate X Factor. If he's not suspended, he's going to go to number 6.
I mean, so with Watson...
Right? I'm sorry. If he's not suspended, he's going to number 6.
We'll dive into it.
I know the Browns are a running team, but they have, Amari Cooper, they have Nick Chubb, they have David Njoku, they have fucking...
Hunt.
Yeah, they have players.
The guy that led the league in rushing 2 years
And he's also going to be a little hungry. He might want a massage or two, but he's going to be hungry for a massage. All right, so here's the thing: I call them old steadies and X Factor. So old steady, Rodgers, Carr, and Watson X Factor, and then I have 15 here, Kirk Cousins, who, believe it or not, had the same fantasy year as fucking Patrick Mahomes last year, bro.
No
Same,
kidding.
34 touchdowns, 35 touchdowns.
Well,
4,500 yards. I don't know. I don't have these numbers in front of me.
Yeah.
They were essentially within a half point of each other. Patrick Mahomes and Kirk fucking Cousins. Now, it helped that Dalvin Cook missed, a handful of games, but Justin Jefferson's legit. Adam Thielen's a pro. I love KJ Osborne. They're getting Irv Smith back, who they didn't have last year. They were running out ragtag fucking tight end. Merv Smith. Love Merv Smith. Like, I like the weapons. I like the team is kind of going more pass heavy. And, Kirk Cousins' age is an issue because Kirk Cousins is not athletic. He's a Tom Brady type.
Yeah.
So,
Kirk Cousins is going to play till he's 40.
So, old steady. You get Kirk Cousins at 15. Why even draft any of these guys earlier, right? Because he's boring, right? He's boring.
Plus,
it's the fat chick you could bang a bunch, but, like, would you rather bang the fat chick a bunch or would you rather have sex with a hot girl once a week? Like, I don't know. Like, quantity over quality. Like, I want to marry the hot girl, but, like, if I want to bang someone.
You are marrying the hot girl.
I am. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I'll pay it forward. Your girl will swing.
God.
Don't worry.
We're editing
She's
this
not
out.
down yet. No, we're not. I'm editing now. Nothing's out.
Uh-oh.
All right, so, I mean, Rodgers, self-explanatory at 12. You can't really go wrong. He's not finishing at 15.
How much more do you, so...
He's still throwing 30 touchdowns. He's still throwing 44.
So Stafford was 8, so you're talking 4.
Right.
Like,
and
how
so
much more
in
do you
terms of
like?
ADP, it's 87 to 73. So they're all kind of bunched. So that's the problem. There's only one round.
So, yeah.
But it might not be in your home league because guess what? The guys that wait on quarterback, I'll really wait. When I have Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, and Kirk Cousins,
Those
and
are
then I didn't
tasty
say
names.
Trey Lance
Yeah.
and Tua, like, dude, like, at that point, if people want to take 2 quarterbacks and try to fuck me, then that's their call. Yeah. Like, I might screw my team over a little bit, but it's really screwing their team over because guess what? They don't have a wide receiver 4. They don't have a fucking backup running back.
What's going to happen is that, they're going to try and trade for one of your guys.
But guess what?
You have 3 starting running backs.
The thing is that it's cool. I have the fucking goddamn chips in my hand because
Yeah.
I don't need a quarterback because I have this guy as my backup receivers. I can trade with somebody else.
Well, what's the easiest position to stream?
Quarterback. Matchup.
Yeah.
You get the Texans. You get the fucking Jets. You get... No, this is last
Who's
year.
the kid on the Texans? Davis
Smith.
Davis Smith. Yeah.
You get Mac Jones against the Bills.
He had 3
I'll start Mac
300
Jones
yards.
against the Bills. He's going to throw 320 and 2 touchdowns. They're going to lose probably by 10 points. But like, and maybe he won't.
Yeah,
the point is, maybe Josh Allen will only have 240 and 2 against the Jets because they're whooping their ass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really hard to decipher these things.
So one thing I do want to mention, because we're looking at off camera, we're talking about, all right, what's just gut feeling. What's our Super Bowl picks? And the conversation was mostly about the AFC, like what team is going to come out of the AFC.
Right. That's more competitive, but we had definitive answers.
My point being is I probably will lean to an NFC quarterback this year because of the competition they're going to play. Who,
besides a couple the division they play in the AFC and the 2 other games?
Yeah, maybe avoid the South because
67% of their games are against that conference.
Like, right? You get the East, the North, like.
Yeah, it's not like Jameis Winston.
Figure out who's not playing. Maybe plays the Bucs once or doesn't play the Bucs.
But is
at
that
all.
a bad matchup for Jameis Winston against the Bucs? I like that matchup. You got to throw 39 times, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So Rodgers, I feel is sitting at 12. Carr at 13. I like that too. Watson's the X factor.
What are your expectations for him? Like in terms of spend, like,
I heard
minimum 6 games, right?
But we didn't cover this. We should have covered this. But one of our first podcasts, actually, the second part of it, we covered the Trevor Bauer thing. Yeah. Which happened last year, and Trevor Bauer was spent for the rest of the year last year, and now he just got spent 2 full years for something that was not criminal.
Legal.
It was all
civil,
dude, and it was one case, right? Where the girl
it's
saying,
different. Yeah.
How is it different?
Because MLB is scrapping for viewership.
Right.
NFL can't count the money.
I'm talking about the individual case. Like, I feel like
Trevor
Bauer's individual case was not worse than any of the individual cases against Deshaun Watson. Playing footsie.
Yeah, I don't want your Band-Aid on me. Get out of here.
That's scary to me because Deshaun Watson, in my mind, and I'm kind of a dirty dog, but not that dirty. And he should probably be suspended for the whole year, right?
So what? He asked for a hand job.
So pull this dick out. You can't do that. Same thing with the fucking clown.
Look, I'm not going to get back in the corner defending what he did.
You just did.
No, I'm saying, like,
defender.
Does he deserve
Put that over your head? Defender.
Does he deserve to be buried? Because if it was 22 women,
there's
right?
A lot of women.
And none of them said anything until there was money on the line.
Right. Well, that's
so how many hand jobs did you get? I'm asking.
It's a very slippery slope because if you know anything about hand jobs, you need some lube.
But
slippery slope.
My point is, how many my point is, like, how many actually jerked him off?
Probably a lot of them.
21, maybe.
Big deal.
And then, but all of a sudden, there's dough on the line.
Right.
Now they're offended by it. Like,
yeah, is it offensive? I mean, it's just like a hand job. Go to any Asian massage parlor, man. There's a. I don't know from experience, but
yeah.
I know people that have.
He's not the worst person in the world for one to get off.
No. And this is not really good Deshaun Watson fantasy talk, but unfortunately it's relevant because the suspension is all we're talking about because he's at 14.
Well, no.
If there was no suspension, where is Deshaun Watson going? With the Browns?
5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% ahead of Jalen Hurts.
He's a better quarterback than
100% of Dak Prescott, dude.
Yeah.
Like, not better situation, but similar situation to Dak Prescott.
Great situation.
Better player.
Cooper.
So, okay. So, Deshaun Watson it's hard to talk about right now. On many fronts. We don't have a problem talking about the jerking off.
We don't know.
Right?
We don't know.
Right. Okay, now let's get to the next. And Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, like I said. Like,
I'm not. He's
at 15,
good.
that's nice.
He's good, but yeah.
All right, let's just brush over here really later here. 16 through like 20. How about that?
Sure.
16, we got Trey Lance, who, they're probably trading Jimmy G if they even have a trade partner. Yeah. But he's starting, and I like the upside there. I don't like the receivers necessarily, but Debo, if they're going to play him more receiver.
Well, he requested a trade, right?
You remember the couple games where Trey Lance started, though, when he had like 14 carries for like 84 yards?
He can't throw.
No, but he has the big play potential throwing. But he can't, he's never going to have 30 completed passes, right? Dude, 84 rushing yards, I don't give a shit. You don't got to throw. Tim Tebow was really relevant back in the day.
I'm happy if someone else takes Trey Lance.
But we're talking about quarterback 16.
I'm not touching that.
Okay. We have 17 Tua, 18 Justin Fields somehow still, 19 Trevor Lawrence, 20 Matt Ryan. Now, these guys are all going, so Trey Lance is 103, and we go all the way down to Matt Ryan at 144. So we're looking between the 9th and 13th round for these guys.
Yeah. Streamers.
100% streamers. And this is also more of at this point we're getting to best ball talk or super flex talk.
Or zero
right.
QB.
Yeah. Well, zero QB is still you're getting Kirk Cousins, right? In 12 team.
Yeah.
So this is more like deep dive talk. We're talking upside here, guys that could become. And there's
Lawrence,
a crazy
bro.
stat here
Trevor
that
Lawrence.
if you think about the last couple of years, like dating back 5 years, the number 1 or number 2 quarterback, it might be number 1, has always been drafted outside the top 12.
Yeah.
You go back to Aaron
Lamar.
Rodgers MVP year, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes,
MVP.
Josh Allen,
MVP.
right?
Who is this?
There was still another couple too, like where they all were drafted outside the top 12.
Sure.
Which is crazy. You think quarterback is a super safe position, like take the guy you know.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's not the case because. All right, so who is the guy out of this group that could be vaulted in the top 3? Right? Trey Lance, Tua, Fields, Lawrence, Ryan, Winston. I'll even throw in Zach Wilson for you. He's at 23, dude.
So I like Ryan to get to be a start, like top 12, top 10, top 12. Like
Yeah.
Ryan, I think, obviously MVP. Like
Not this year, though. He is nothing with the feet, man. If you have a foot fetish, you do not like Matt Ryan.
he might be
all
on the
right?
best team he's ever been on.
Matt Ryan's feet are disgusting. They're like, remember Shaq's feet when they showed Shaq's feet?
Oh,
Dude, that's Matt Ryan's feet. You don't want to suck them. You don't want to do anything. Foot fetish, right?
Yeah. So with Tua,
Fantasy's all about feet.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think about is the quality of the nails.
How they look. How did mine look?
Yeah, well, I see the panda. You keep,
Wow, that's
keep
the
trying.
bite.
all
All right, so who do you guys? Your top, like I think you're gonna go Tua, right?
Tua or Lawrence. Like
Yeah, I like Lawrence too.
I like the Jags to outperform their expectations. I think they're over under 4 or 5 games again. Whatever. I actually might be a little bit higher.
I do like the Jags as a team, and the problem is that I do like they got some weapons, but they didn't address it in the draft. ETN though is a nice X factor coming back.
Kirk, man.
And Kirk, I know, but Kirk is not number 1. They're not.
He is.
They
maybe,
lost DJ Chark.
Kirk is maybe one of the more quarterback-friendly receivers in the league. Like, in terms of a guy that's able to catch the ball, run the right routes, Kirk's a stud in that respect. He might not be a game changer. Like the way he got paid is probably. I think it's more to build, like we were talking about earlier, confidence.
Yeah, right.
Like I want someone that I can trust on 3rd down. Like it's 3rd and 8. We need 9 yards. Kirk, make sure you're right where, because Lawrence can throw the ball with the best of them, right? So Tua, Tua's really interesting. Tua to me is the most boomer bust guy in all of fantasy. I think Tua has potential to be
Benched.
yes, yeah.
Or
They might bring back
elite.
Fitzpatrick.
When we say elite, we're talking top 12, right?
I'm thinking. Well, I think Tua with the weapons he had with those guys because.
He can run a little
Tua,
bit. He can run.
Yeah, and I think I truly believe he's been dealing with injuries and again confidence. Like with Fitzpatrick back behind him, and then came back with the hip and all that stuff. It's the coach, all that. I mean, everything's changing with him. He's feeling good going into this year. He doesn't really need to throw the ball that well because the guys he has around him, the stats can.
Tyreek Hill helps.
It's
I mean,
wild.
Mike Gesicki's solid. You always said one of the best hands you've seen.
For sure.
Gesicki and like Dallas Goedert, I love both those guys. Underrated tight end. So, all right, real quick, I'm going to go through the last guys. These are only best ball only,
Sure.
and or super flex.
There's still more, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, there's still more. So, 21 Jameis Winston, 22 Tannehill, 23 Zach Wilson, your boy, 24 Daniel Jones, 25 Mac Jones, 26 Jared Goff, 27 Carson Wentz.
See, that's where to me that.
Now,
like,
Carson Wentz, man, at 27, best ball. Oh, man,
I like
give me
that.
that all
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
day. That is so late, dude. That is so late. Why? I know he's burned his bridges and, say what you will. But I do remember Ryan Fitzpatrick being drafted like 16 last year, and he's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean,
let me ask you this: would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Zach Wilson?
Depends.
On.
Well, Cousins safer, Wilson more upside. I can't say that because he had fucking Patrick Mahomes here last year. So I'd rather have Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to drop down a little lower, I will take Zach Wilson.
Sure.
But you've been a little aggressive saying you want him as your quarterback.
Well, I just want the guy that we haven't seen the best of. Like I don't think
we haven't seen anything.
we're not going to see a 40 touchdown.
We've seen his
year.
mom titties.
Yeah.
Maybe if we haven't, can we? Nice.
She's a
Unless
bit-
he's like stuffing like the Animal House thing where he, she's passed out and he's pulling out all this fucking goddamn shit.
Gosh.
I'm stuffing my belly. I'm kidding. Look at this thing. It
With the
ain't
McDonald's, you give me the scraps.
Alright.
Your cold fries every night.
All right, so I'm saying these guys I feel like can be relevant in terms
Wilson
of
to me,
like
top
best
10
balls.
potential.
Saying, but best ball, I don't mind any of these guys. Winston, Wilson, fucking Tannehill, Daniel Jones. He got the ball. He's scrambling. Like, I don't mind any of these guys. Like Mac Jones maybe lukewarm, but he's going to be on the field. He's going to play. Best ball, he'll have a couple, 5-6 good games. So we'll get to that later.
I like all those guys. I like that round of, like, you were to say, hey, I'll bet you can take those 5 guys and you'll get the 5 guys before that. I'll take in terms of like total fantasy points, I'll take the 5 guys on the tip. Because you're talking guys that are that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back shortly with tight ends. We'll do that as a separate episode. This one a little long, but we're in the pool, we're having fun. I mean, this is just fabulous, right?
Yeah.
Like we're really enjoying everything. And hold on, I can't get this up. I gotta get a wrap square pound right here from you.
And it's been a complete joy.